Our next panelist is another dynamic personality. His name is Mr. Sanjeev Vakil. He is the CEO of HIMT Madras. Before I move on to his introduction, the current webinar, which is being hosted today, is all courtesy to Mr. Sanjeev Vakil and his elegant professional team. They are all sitting in Chennai and coordinating this worldwide. So Mr. Vakil is a marine engineer by profession. He had set up the HIMT in 1998, and by 2002, HIMT became the India's largest institute in terms of DGS approved courses. He was the first marine engineer in the world to be conferred fellowship by the Nautical Institute, London. My personal views about him: he's a dynamic personality, behind the scene curtains operators, generously contributes to the maritime industry in thick or thin times. So so I'll not waste any further time. I'll tell Mr. Vakil to take us through this voyage and your vision and how you foresee the current circulars as well as your vision towards the maritime training in future. Over.
Thanks for that kind introduction, Captain Kalia. Good to see all dignitaries welcoming each of you. I would just be short. Overnight, the world has changed today, right from 16th of March. I would first of all congratulate DG Shipping for issuing very proactively the circular of lockdown even before the government of India declared it. So that's one appreciation which I'd like to give. As regards the circulars, yes, it's been coming across, but I'll just try to speak across from the perspective of the institutes. The administration has issued circulars. Now the stakeholders, which are the institutes, and in the institutes, if you see, you have the students, the faculty, and the infrastructure. All these days, as per the CIP, we all were trying to make buildings, we were trying to decorate things, but then we forgot the idea of the IT infrastructure, and that has been the biggest challenge. The marks of the complete CIP itself was selected quite on the infrastructure, and then of course the placement, which is certainly not too much in the hands of the institutes. So now the complete outlook will need to be changed, wherein the new CIP probably will have to be coming across, wherein the IT structure also would have to be decided by the DG Shipping. And in terms of faculty, now the faculty, those faculty who are certainly very senior faculty whom we have, I would appreciate that many of them have overnight changed. Those faculty I've seen who wanted an assistant of IT personnel to come and make his PowerPoint today sitting at home. He knows that, yes, it is required for him to learn the technology. If not, he'll be redundant. So that's one positive change. So the blessings are the faculty have changed. The faculty have been able to do the things. And I would appreciate also the amount of workload which was there at the institute was just about 6 hours. But today, faculties who are committed are working for 10 to 12 hours sitting at home to develop this and also making their videos. At least I would say 50 to 60 faculty of ours have already posted their videos on the YouTube, because now it's going to be a faculty, as earlier speakers told, it's not only concerned to only Indian faculty. You will be able to bring faculty from abroad, anywhere. So the faculty will have to upgrade, and those who are committed will have to prove themselves. If not, they will be rendered. In fact, I would like to say that the faculty, when they are going to post their videos and put it on the cloud, the whole world is watching. So they are going to be more extra cautious that they speak right. You can't go and speak anything what you wish to, because today the whole world is watching and tomorrow anyone could file a suit. So that's one thing. And a positive part from the aspect of the negative aspects from the institutes, what the students find, there are connectivity issues. We ourselves, after organizing so much for last 2-3 years, we are into this, but then still, when the technology fails, Chennai, we had a thunderstorm and we had rains and we had power cuts. Today morning, we had action plan A, B, C, but then still many of things failed. So I would say this technology is one thing which is not in our hands, as COVID is. We all thought we are global leaders, but then finally it's God's hand. Whatever happens, nobody can change. But then we should be prepared for this technology change. Students have these connectivity issues. So one way is to have the videos recorded, and then whenever they want, they can download and they can see. Second challenge is the students will not be able to sit for 6 hours as they were able to do in a classroom. Today, sitting across, people are used to watching videos and everything. More than 2 hours, it will be difficult. So the segregation. One thing good is the training circular will have to be revised where daylight hours classes was there, but now it will not be daylight. It will be 24/7 classes, wherein the students would have students and faculty would have to completely split the classes in terms of 2 hours and then have a break of 3-4 hours and then again 2 hours. That could be a way forward if you need to cover. It cannot be monitoring from morning 8 to 5 or 8 to 6. That will not be possible. So I think that's one thing for the current condition of leadership. One thing good is, yes, certainly at this time of crisis, many of the institutes have come together and probably each of them have been discussing common platforms as to how to take it further. And that's a positive thing. I would say that there are no more competitors. I would say everybody are supporters to each other. So there is no threat that the institutes will have to worry that he is going to become bigger or he's going to become bigger. Finally, nobody is big above God. Ultimately, we all would have to see that the technology will take across and the government is trying to do by issuing circulars. Yes, but again to the colleges, there are a few more things which the colleges will have to take into consideration. Nobody has talked about it. Everybody is keeping silent. Is what will be the status of the salary of this faculty, the support staff? Yes, it's a global crisis. Many of them have already reduced salaries and all, but then people are silent, and I believe everybody is watching and speaking across what to do. Yes, as a human being, we'll need to take care of those poor who are there of a lower end. But then, okay, the faculty will again have to have a cut in the salaries because the institutes, when they have zero income, and at this crisis, we cannot say the students to come and pay the fees. It is going to be a challenge for how the institutes are going to survive. Because if it was 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, yes, I think there are big pockets, deep pockets, somebody could have done it. But when it is uncertainty, I'm sure that nobody, right from the philanthropist of even Bill Gates, would find it difficult. So I would say that yes, we will have to have some measures in place in terms of looking at this, and it will be completely every stakeholder would have to be part of it, who will have to take a cut if they want this quality to go on. Proprietary issues of the faculty. Many of the faculty think that the institutes are now going to probably take videos and trying to, after a few months, we'll say the faculty goodbye, tata. That should not happen. So we should take care of those faculty as well. Those faculty, the proprietary issues, if they are taken pains to do this particular classes, I think their interest also should be taken care. That will keep them also a bit comfortable zone, because otherwise they also would be under crisis. And finally, okay, the DGS, as Mr. Ashish did mention, that we have issued 3 circulars on 24th. Good circulars have been issued, but I feel at this given time of crisis, yes, the circular on the live classes is excellent. I think we all go across. But the other 2 circulars which are there, one is on training circular 17, which is on exit exams. I think when there are no classes itself going to be at the institute, the exit exams would not happen immediately. I'm happy that, okay, DG had thought about it, and we have this edu thing coming, which is already doing this e-learning mode. The classes are there. You have assessments already in place. So why to double up and have 2 assessments? That's a question. Probably, I think once the colleges start across, yes, that could be a thought process which we would have to implement. But as of now, there is no point of investing on infrastructure and have something which is just not going to be used. And last circle on the placement, yes, placement again is a big challenge. It has been for years together. But this time of crisis, yes, where the whole world is connected through Zoom and other technologies, we will need to rework. Probably this is the time of when the whole world is joining hands. India has been setting a role model for the whole globe. I think same way, I think Indian shipping fraternity should come together. The companies should support, the RPSL license holders should support these institutes, and probably this is the way which we can lead the thing. There is no big challenge. People thought China was a challenge. China is not there. I would request all the shipping companies and other stakeholders who can pull out and come down to India and look for our fraternity, our faculty, our students. I think we should proudly say that we are the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vakil. That was quite informative. You've covered the perspective from the shipping company side, the RPSL, from the maritime training world, and also a very pertinent mention to the current engaged, dedicated trainers who may fear that with the e-learning and digital and virtual classroom teachers teaching, their jobs and occupations may be in trouble. So thanks for reassuring them. We are not going to just be moving into this like as of tomorrow. It is going to take some time. The DGS is going to ponder over it. The industry and the stakeholders are going to address it and discuss amongst the DG shipping. And post that, like Captain Prashar mentioned, this has to be debated in the parliament as well. And so all these thoughts which you have presented are very well complimented. Thank you so much, Mr. Vakil, once again.